Hello everybody, welcome to another book review. In this video I'm going to be reviewing The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. So for this video I wrote a script. I did so to be able to combine all the ideas I had when reading the book in a way that sounds good. The idea of writing a script itself actually came from the book because I don't believe I'll ever be able to combine all the things that I'm thinking as poetically as John Green has in The Anthropocene Reviewed, much less on the fly. Also, about halfway through this video, it turns into an open letter to John Green. So, John, I hope you're watching this one day. I long believed that books couldn't share the same emotion that video and audio could, but this book changed that for me. The word choice creates an image in your head that is abstract enough for every reader to apply to their own lives, but concrete enough so that there's a shared experience in the visualization of it. And that's something that can't really be accomplished in video and is rarely done in audio. Since the middle of high school, I felt a general lack of wonder. The ongoings of daily life distracted me, and the unweaving of the rainbow had a normalizing effect on the beauty around me. But in the essay on our capacity for wonder, John Green talks about overviewing the horizon with his son, and his son is distracted by a leaf instead of by the horizon. John, when you described how you felt like you needed to explain to your son that the real beauty was in the horizon, but found yourself mesmerized by the leaf as well, I began to cry. I cried in regret and excitement, sorrow for the small beauties that I had already let pass, but grateful that there is so much more to be perceived and appreciated. I had a similar feeling in the essay on sunsets, where you confess to a similar feeling. I, like you, have spent years of my life hidden behind, in your words, the armor of cynicism and the great walls of irony, to deflect from the pain that might be caused if I, like your dog Willie, turn my belly to the world. That's what inspired me to make this review of your book. I want to be vulnerable because only in that place of vulnerability can I fully appreciate everything that the world has to offer in my limited time here. I've only really highlighted 2 of my favorite essays in the book here, but they're all amazing, and this book has shifted my perspective tremendously. I aspire to emulate your deep thought that you applied to what are on the surface mundane topics like the Notes app or penguins of Madagascar. You even made me feel sympathy towards the Canada goose, which previously was towards the top of my hated species list. The idea that beauty can be found anywhere is a common thread throughout this book. Even in things that are obviously bad, like Staphylococcus aureus, hope I'm saying that right, you find beauty in pondering why life wants to be. Even in your realism, when you acknowledge that there's no reason for suffering, no matter how tempting it may be to project some onto it, there's a beauty in the world we know. When you mentioned in the introduction that it has taken up to your current point in life to fall in love with the world, I didn't fully understand what you meant. But in reading your observations of the world, I now understand. I'm not going to rate any other books that I review on this channel on a 5-point scale, but I will for this one because of its theme. It's a pretty obvious 5 stars from me, and I highly recommend everyone read it. And I highly recommend everyone read it in a place that they feel safe to be vulnerable and allow themselves to feel everything that the words allow them to. To finish this review, I will share one of my favorite passages from the book. To fall in love with the world isn't to ignore or overlook suffering, both human and otherwise. For me anyway, to fall in love with the world is to look up at the night sky and feel your mind swim before the beauty and the distance of the stars. It's to hold your children while they cry, to watch as the sycamore trees leaf out in June. When my breastbone starts to hurt and my throat tightens and tears well in my eyes, I want to look away from feeling. I want to deflect with irony or anything else that will keep me from feeling directly. We all know how loving ends, but I want to fall in love with the world anyway, to let it crack me open. I want to feel what there is to feel while I'm here. Thank you, John Green, for sharing this with me.